Good afternoon and welcome. We are so excited that you're here this afternoon for this occasion that we are very excited about indeed, to honor Mr. B.A. Hamilton and his family and the wonderful legacy of education and this program today. So thank you for being here. It is my pleasure at this time to introduce our president, Dr. Anton Reese.
Well, good afternoon. You know, there are moments and there are special moments. I would argue that this overqualifies on many levels, because I don't think we can do enough justice in really bringing recognition to a giant like B.A. Hamilton. This special moment, we come today to honor an incredible man who had vision, dedication, not only as a businessman. We could probably do the entire program just recognizing his efforts as a businessman. We probably could do an entire program on his efforts as a father, as a husband. We could probably do an entire program on his service, serving on several boards, locally, regionally, and otherwise. But I think in part today, ultimately, what stands out to me from Mr. Hamilton and the Hamiltons, his friends and colleagues and supporters, is that he took that expertise as a businessman and with intention planted the seed some decades ago that in 2017 and beyond, we collectively benefit from that incredible base and foundation that he planted. And I'm sure that the family members that you'll be hearing from later on today would attest that it was sacrifice, time intensive, maybe elements and moments of doubt, but ultimately he stayed committed, not just to serving himself, his family, but collectively families for here to come. This afternoon you'll be hearing about this incredible legacy that we plan on honoring by naming this classroom the B.A. Hamilton Classroom. It is our way of ensuring that his legacy, yes, his legacy, yes, that his legacy not only continues currently, but for the future and for generations to come is where the significance is that we bear witness today on this day. You know, as I scan this crowd and we can see clearly the magnitude and reach where all of us have our own unique stories and unique connections to Mr. Hamilton and the Hamilton family. And I know that he's looking down with great pride, probably still working on some cars up in the sky, but you know, that comes with the territory. He's never tires. But I want to thank all of you for being here this afternoon to really celebrate a champion, a quintessential servant leader who not only gave of himself, but gave to others. Thank you so much, and we look forward to the comments of this program this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Reese. And now I would like to ask John Williams, who is the chairperson of the Paducah Junior College Foundation Board, to come forward for some remarks.
Well, first of all, hi, Francis. We've been friends a very, very long time. And it's been my privilege to know B.A. Hamilton for many years, both as a friend and as a board member for so long. You know, B.A. was an amazing individual who was always working to ensure an education for all the young people in our area. As you know, he was the founding father of what you're sitting in, the body repair course at the original vocational school. Many young people went on to pursue their career thanks to his guidance. After we combined the institutions from the initial vocational school and our college, BA was, of course, followed that and came on our board at the WKCTC board. And let me assure you that it never failed that if there was an issue that involved this, what we're standing in, or this entire school, if he felt that was going to affect in any way the education here, you'd hear from him. And we did, and we admired it, and we listened. You know, B.A. spent his entire life doing all he could to see that young people graduating from high school had every possibility imaginable. He was simply a very caring person and a very important part of our school and our community. There is no one that had the conviction for young people and their education like B.A. Hamilton. So we want to thank Frances and her family for sharing B.A. with us. He is missed, but his accomplishments live on. God bless you, and thank you, Frances and family.
Thank you, John. And now I would like to ask Mr. Jason Jones, Chairperson of the West Kentucky Community and Technical College Board of Directors, to come forward for some remarks.
On behalf of the WKCTC Board of Directors, we would like to welcome all of you and thank you all for being here. I got to talk to Mr. Hamilton and to know him probably just in the last few years. But what was evident to me, anytime that you spoke with him, there were three things that were very important to him: his family, his faith, and his community. And I think those are three things that are well represented here today as well. You see many members of his family, many members that he went to church with, those that he shared his faith with, and you look at all of the community members that are here today. I think that says a whole lot about him as a person. And to the family, we thank you for the time that he spent here, that you gave him to us to work and to develop things like this. It's amazing what he has done for our institution, and we thank you so much for that. He put so much time, so much energy, and so much effort into this, and we just appreciate it, and thank you.
Thank you, Jason. And now, Craig Dickerson, who is the program coordinator for the Collision Repair Technology Center, will come forward to tell us some about the program today. And he will be joined in a moment by student Edson Blanco, who is a current student in the program.
Thank you, Lee. So I am the third program coordinator of the Collision Repair Technology program. BA started this program in 1962 and was here until 1980. After that, Jerry Scarborough served here until 2006, and upon his retirement, I've been here since 2007. So I wanted to just briefly mention today how the program has evolved since 1962. And I read in Janet's book that many of you may have that BA was instrumental in the education and training of young men in the field of auto body repair. While that's a short statement, I think it says a lot, and that's what we still strive for today, is to be an instrumental part in their success. Also, we want to be a stepping stone to a better career for these students. We want our graduates to be successful, and we want to provide the necessary tools that make that possible. So since 1962, a lot's changed. There's been huge leaps forward in technology and constantly changing OEM repair methods. But with good, solid college leadership, both past and present, adequate funding, and overwhelming industry support, we've been able to stay ahead of these changes and remain relevant and remain viable. So at this time, I would like to recommend, I mentioned overwhelming industry support, and that is what makes all of this so possible. And we do have several representatives here today from industry, and I would like for Brad Wiersma and Kyle Wiersma to please stand if they would. So Brad and Kyle Wiersma are the co-owners and vice president of Randy's Body Shop in Paducah, Kentucky, and they've served as the chair of the advisory committee for the Collision Repair Technology program, and we appreciate that. We also have industry support here, of course, from BA's Body Shop if you all would stand, as well as Jeff's Body Shop and Burnham's Collision Center. If everyone involved would please stand, because this is what keeps this program that BA started going. And we thank you all for your support. So with these current OEM repair methods and changes that consistently take place, every year we have new cars coming out, and it's become quite a task to keep up with the repair methods that OEM requires. So in effort to do that, we've recently adopted the iCar PDP EE curriculum. This gives students access to the same technical training that thousands of field technicians across the United States receive every year. And the great part of this is that it's at no additional cost to the students. This equates to between $4,000 and $5,000 worth of training, continuing education training that they're able to receive through the program. What made this possible is a partnership agreement that we have signed with iCar. And I want to thank both Dr. Heflin and Dr. Reese for recognizing the importance of this when I brought it forward and getting this put in place quickly. So we've been able to have this curriculum for this semester. And the good thing about it is that students that complete this curriculum are able to receive an iCar Pro Level 1 certification, which is an industry-recognized certification. And it just so happens that the first WKCTC student to receive this Pro Level 1 certification in painting and refinishing passed his end of program exam yesterday. So I want to recognize Brandon Gossett, if you'll come forward, please. There we go. Do you want to present it, Dr. Reese?
You go ahead. I'll shake that.
Okay. Please do. Shake my hand here, buddy. All right, and we're proud of you. I don't know who's more proud, him or me. Good job, Brandon. So in a moment, we're going to hear from a student speaker that is in this program now, that this program has meant a lot to, and he's going to be coming forward. His name is Edson Blanco. But in closing, I would just like to say that when BA started this program over 50 years ago, I don't know if he could envision where it would be in 2017, but I do think he would be proud of what it's become. So.
Hello. My name is Edson Blanco. I was born in San Luis Potosí, Mexico. I started high school as a freshman and graduated in 2015 at Mountain West High School in Chicago. After graduation, I worked for about 2 years at a tree service company and at a Mexican restaurant. And I was sure I didn't want to do that all my life. Knowing that I have family in Kentucky and my cousin attending WKCTC, I decided to go back to school and get a career. I like cars and love learning new things about them. That's why I decided to go into collision repair. They make good money, it's easy to find employment, and it's not seasonal like other jobs. I have an uncle that works in a body shop, and he's happy I chose this program. Collision repair means responsibility, effort, and hard work. Trying your best every day and always be ready for any situation. This program gives you a great education and big opportunities in life. You just have to strive for them. I'm hoping to keep learning new things in this program and get a good job. I wanted to thank Mr. Hamilton for starting this program, because if it wasn't for him, not only me, but many other students would not have benefited today. I wanted to thank him for giving me this opportunity and education, and he knows I'm trying my best. Thank you.
Thank you, Edson. Now, I have the pleasure of making a few remarks. I'm Lee Emmons. I'm Vice President for Advancement and Executive Director of the Paducah Junior College Foundation. And today's ceremony is really the second part of steps the college has taken to honor Mr. Hamilton. And I came on board only less than 1 year ago, but I had the great pleasure of toward the end of Mr. Hamilton's service on the PJC board, I attended a board meeting as a guest. I had been hired, but had not yet actually started my employment, but I was invited to a finance committee and board meeting, and it was at that meeting that the board was taking action to establish an endowment to provide scholarships, the B.A. Hamilton Scholarship Endowment. So I feel very happy that I was at that meeting and got to be a little part of that, or at least witness that first step. As you know, an endowment provides opportunities into the future. By only the earnings of an endowment fund being utilized, the fund provides in perpetuity dollars to be utilized for, in this case, scholarships. So I'm struck by the fact that many years ago, when Mr. Hamilton started this program, now here we are this many years later honoring him, but we can also look this many years into the future and know that students will still be being helped through Mr. Hamilton establishing the program and through the endowment that will provide scholarships for students in the automotive collision program. So we do invite you today to participate by making contributions to the endowment, if you would like to do so. There is information on this table. There's information on the table out in the hallway. And as you know, the more an endowment grows, the more scholarships we can provide, the more we can help students get their education as Mr. Hamilton wanted. We were able to award the very first scholarship this current semester, this fall, at 25% of tuition, and that student recipient is here today, Mr. Jacob Morris. Would you just step forward and wave so everybody can see? So Jacob didn't really want to be a public speaker, but he did. We did talk, and he said that scholarships are always so helpful in continuing that education. So we can't say enough about what Mr. Hamilton has done, and we look forward to the years ahead where the B.A. Hamilton Scholarship Endowment will continue providing assistance to make education possible for students. Thank you. And now Dr. Reese will come forward with Mrs. Hamilton and our board chairs for the special unveiling. And if the Hamilton family would like to come forward at this time, please. And we will turn it over to the family for some comments now. Oops, sorry about that.
Will that go? Okay. I see him every day. I've had to move pictures from room to room. Everywhere I go, he follows me with his eyes. And I have to say, B.A., I can't do this today. I'm going to move this picture. Shortly thereafter, the picture comes back. He stays with me every day, every night. The mornings are hard, and the evenings are even harder. Now, none of that was on my speech. But when I saw his face again, it's just almost too much. You all have given such accolades to him. And Dr. Reese, I can't thank you enough for this idea and how it has come together with your boards and staff and Janet, and of course she's part of staff. I'm just delighted. We really, as a family, appreciate this. And I'm not supposed to talk very long because the kids are going to get a chance to say something. But we do appreciate the fact that you gave him the endowment. Dr. Reese and John came out to my house and presented that award. And it was a $20,000 endowment to be built on for the auto collision scholarships. And then to come here today and receive this beautiful occasion with beautiful friends. I have so many friends in the audience, and B.A. and I appreciate all of you. Some of you knew him better than you knew me. Some of you knew me better than you knew him. But the community has been absolutely wonderful to us since his death. You know, when you lose someone that you love, you want to make sure that they're remembered. What better way can he be remembered with this endowment and this naming? And make sure you see his name on the door as you come in if you missed it. He loved teaching. There's enough been said about his accomplishments, but he also liked helping people. He secured jobs after he taught his students. He secured jobs for them, most of them. He had two uncles that he gives credit for his training in this field. His Uncle Bill, and I'm not sure he made it today, but he's still around. He said he got his days mixed up. But B.A. worked for him in his body shop. And then from there, he took off and did other trainings and things. This was after he came back from the Air Force. And when he was teaching, his other uncle, who is deceased now, lived in Rantoul, Illinois. And he worked for a company called FC. And they had lease cars that they leased out. And when they were finished with the lease, they brought them in. And BA students got them back up to par so that they could sell them. Now that was wonderful. I mean, it's one thing to teach. It's another to help them go farther than, you know, with their trade. And a lot of the students still come back to see him often. I miss him dearly. There's one more thing I want to say that's not anything to do with this part of the program, but I want to tell you how strong he was. When B.A. started getting sick in the summer last year, and he went to doctors, and he went to another doctor, and he went to another doctor, and they would check him, and they couldn't find anything that was wrong with him, with the symptoms that he had. So finally, he went to Dr. Ford, who is our cardiologist, and he had an EKG. Fine, nothing wrong at all. And then he said, Dr. Ford, I am sick, and I need a chest x-ray. And he got his chest x-ray, and that is when we found out that he had stage 4 cancer. Our son Eddie lives in Nashville and is a doctor there. Says, okay, I have a friend I graduated with, and I'm gonna take you to her, and we're gonna get a second opinion on this. That's good to get a second opinion when you know, have something that's serious. Well, we stayed in the family, the children, along with me. We stayed in the room while she was doing her assessment, and she came back in the room. We were all sitting there. Honestly, it seemed like 2 hours, but I know it was probably an hour. And when she came back, she told B.A. that he had stage 4 cancer. And he looked at her and he said, would you explain to me what that means? What are my choices? And she said, without any treatments, you have 3 months to live. And with treatments, you possibly have 11 months to live. This was in August of last year. He died in January, the 26th of the month. But he was courageous. We rode back home in the car, and all we could do, we both felt we have a lot of love for each other. That's what I want to tell you. I have one more thing to say. Finally, I like the words that was on the invitation. It says, we miss him dearly, as he was a wonderful husband, father, Christian, and friend. That's part of that's my comments. Okay, here we go. Those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day. Unseen, unheard, but always near. Still loved, still missed, and very dear. I want to thank each one of you in attendance for coming today. And thank you for all that you've done for BA during your lifetime. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and again, we thank you very, very much for everything you have done and are doing to honor and celebrate my daddy. It's an honor and a privilege to call him daddy, and it's a blessing to be his firstborn. We just cannot thank you enough. Like Mom said, all of the personal touches, these photographs, just everything you've done, and the invitation. I'm just so proud to call him daddy. And I just really do wish that he was here with us right now to see this, because he told, before he even got sick, I don't even know what we were talking about, but he said he didn't want to leave a legacy. And I chuckled to myself and said, you already have one. And this, what you all have done during the time we've been dealing with the illness and then during his death, just proves He has an outstanding and awesome legacy, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. And we thank you very much. And then one last thing, too, the Hamilton family will be making a $1,000 contribution to the endowment. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Tony Hamilton. I'm BA's son. I'm running the body shop at this time. And I just really want to just say to this community that you all have been so kind and considerate towards my dad. And we greatly appreciate the way that you all have embraced him and acknowledged him and treated him after his death. We just hope and pray that us as a family can continue to be the shining light to this community, outstanding citizens to all of you all, and just continue to do things to help young kids continue to grow and learn more. And hopefully we can expound upon a lot of kids that don't go to college, the importance of trade. You know, there's one thing that my father always expressed. He said college degrees are wonderful and good things, but we don't take advantage of these vocational and technical schools and the trades. So maybe we want to look out and go out to some of the high schools, and if they're not able to academically meet the challenges of college, they know they can come to a vocational school, get a trade, and still make a good living for themselves and have a good life. I'd like to thank Mr. Anderson and Mr. Jones, as well as President Reese for doing this for us. It is such an honor, and there's really no words can explain the gratitude and how we feel in our heart for what you're doing. I know that my father, like you said, had a passion. He had a passion for youth. He had a passion for education, and he taught all of us that was very important as far as us being able to succeed in life. So once again, thank you so very much. We are humbled by this what you all have given us. Thank you.
My mother said that we couldn't say very much, but Tony never listened very well, so I'm going to try to do better and do what I'm told, like I always do. But we do want to thank you for what you've done, the outpouring of love and affection that has been demonstrated not only today but throughout this year. We just can't thank you enough. It's been beyond our expectations, and it says a lot about my father, and I think all of you know him and know the kind of man he was. But it would be not in keeping with his wishes to leave this place without using Scripture as part of the way that we remember my father. And so in his honor, I want to read to you a passage from the book of Philippians that is the essence of my father and the man that you knew. Let nothing be done through selfish ambition or conceit, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than himself. This is my father. He was a man of great character, great courage, great humility, with respect for all, respect for himself, and respect for others. And he was full of compassion, as you all know. This is a tribute to him, and we will continue to build on it. Today, represented here are his sons, his daughters, his grandchildren, and even his great-grandchildren. And we have much to be thankful for. You've met my mother. You can see the kind of people that we come from, so you can rest assured that we will continue to honor my father going forward. And we just want to thank you so much for what you've done on our behalf. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Donna Hamilton White. I'm the youngest daughter of B.A. and Frances Hamilton, and proud to be so. I wanted to thank you for coming here today. And I have a few just quick memories that I'd like to share with you regarding my dad. When I heard that this program began in 1962, that's the year I was born. So that was special to me to hear. And I remember, in my mind, my dad was the first Mr. Mom. When I was 4 years old, Mom was working at Union Carbide, and I guess they had to have a discussion and decide well, BA, you're going to have to get that little one ready for school, and you're going to have to take her with you to the body shop, to the, at the vocational school until it's time to take her to school. And that's what he would do every morning. He would get me dressed, and we would go to the school. So I met a lot of the students, and when he couldn't break away to take me to school, he would pick one of his students to take me. And then they would come pick me up in the evenings. And then I would spend time with Miss Robinson in the beauty shop. I was all over that place. So I have really special memories that I think about when I come into this environment. And I just want to say thank you again, Dr. Reese, for all that you've given to us. And I thank all of you for loving my dad and for honoring him as we do. Thank you.
You know that there's a saying, I'm sorry. Oh, Charles, come on up. This is Charles Hamilton, with the brothers of B.A. Hamilton.
Well, since I was running around back then, the big difference I see, and I think BA has taken on later, that I see back then it was all minority students. And that was something so different. He sent them all over the country. But and in his last day, because he was on the board of the McCracken County Career Endowment, which we give scholarships to minority students. And we also have a scholarship here that we are trying to make sure that we encourage young minority men to take up the field of body mechanic and whatnot. And so we're hoping that we can continue to, I see we have, I think the young man back there, I hope he's an auto body student. If he is, I'd like to get to meet him before I leave. Maybe we can encourage him, because that field is very, very open and very, very important, because people are constantly buying cars. But we are hoping that you continue. I remember coming out here looking for BA one day, and I'll just tell this very quickly, and I was walking around all over. I said, BA, BA. And I went to they said he went to the restroom. I went to the restroom. I said, BA. And so when I got back out, he walked out. He said, I said, BA, I've been looking for you in the restroom. He said, yeah. He said, well, I didn't answer you because everybody out here is Mr. somebody. And so since I didn't say Mr. Hamilton, he didn't answer. And so that it was just kind of strange. He always tried to instill into us, because I'm auto body repairman and we all came up the same route through our two uncles. And so, but I'm just very thankful. And we have a scholarship too that we are presenting to West Kentucky Technical College. So he was very, very, very thought-worthy of trying to help those that were struggling in being able to accomplish what they could accomplish, and he felt like that we would share and try to lift those up. So I'm very thankful, and I spent a lot of time back and forth over here, because he always had instructions for us when I worked for him out on the street, and you had to come down, and if you didn't understand them, then he would make sure that you understood what he was trying to get you to do. So I appreciate you all, and I appreciate you all continue to support the Hamilton family. But most of all, let the Hamilton family be able to be a support for this community and be able to do better things in this community.
As we close, let me again offer my congratulations, heartfelt, on behalf of the 8,146 students who makes their way through these doors on an annual basis, the 600 full-time faculty and staff, the synergy that happens in great classrooms like this, outstanding professors like Mr. Dickerson, clearly the community, the supporters. I see our state representatives, Gerald Watkins and Danny Carroll. It is in this synergy that we want to continue this incredible legacy that was cemented here many decades ago. Lee mentioned that as part of the endowment, we have opportunities for you to contribute, both strategically placed internally and externally, which means we want you to support the endowment. Second, we are all students, lifelong learners, so you still have time to sign up for the spring semester and fall 2018. That would be a good legacy to BA Hamilton. So send us your children, your daughters, your husbands, your cousins, your wives. There's a lot of room here at the end to build on great programs with this. And with that, I bid you good afternoon and thank you so much for taking the time of being here today. And refreshments are right over in the corner. And thank you. This is a certificate. Ms. Hamilton, if you will come forward. This is from Dr. Box, who is the president of our system. It's a certificate of appreciation. Get on this side. And it reads, this certificate gratefully acknowledges Mr. Hamilton's extraordinary legacy and his many years of service to West Kentucky Community and Technical College and the Kentucky Community and Technical College System. Dr. J. Box, November 8th, 2017.
Oh, and may I say one more thing? Dr. Reese said that Representative Carroll, Senator Carroll is here, and I am so glad because he sent BA a very nice certificate of appreciation for his community, and so did Representative Rudy. So thank you, in case I don't get a chance in person to tell you.
All right.
I really appreciate that.
Thank you all so much.
I wanted to add that this wonderful photograph of Mr. Hamilton will hang in this classroom right between the two doorways back there, where you can see Dr. Heflin showing the wall there with a nameplate below it. So we will have both the classroom naming outside the door and then his photograph and a nameplate inside the classroom as well. I also wanted to add that today, before today's contributions, the endowment has grown to more than $30,000, and so we are making great progress, and we hope it continues to grow. Thank you for the family's commitment as well. Please enjoy refreshments. We want you to eat and visit and enjoy yourselves.
And just real quickly too, this is a commemorative booklet put together by Janet Blythe that captures special memories and photos of BA's incredible legacy. And so we have copies for some of the members of the family. Thank you all so much. Let's enjoy the refreshments and give sparingly.